Welcome back into the Sports Source. This segment of our show brought to you by Madisonville Marine. Summer is here and the time is right for buying a boat. And the best place to do that, Madisonville Marine. Deck boats, john boats, bass boats, ski boats, pontoon boats, new boats, used boats. There's no better place to buy a boat than Madisonville Marine. We've been telling you about them for more than a decade. They are fantastic. Get down there, check them out as they close in on their 40th anniversary. That's what they're working toward. We're working on number 13. They're working on number 40. Madisonville Marine. Find out for yourself why they have had so much success for so long a time. All right. We kick off our 50 Shades of Smoky Gray show by running through positives. We're going to get it off on a good footing here, make everybody happy. Let's go ahead and take a look at the 10 pleasures. These are in chronological order, all right? Now, the group here all had a say in it, and we also took emails, tweets, that kind of thing from fans at home. I'm just going to run through these quickly. You guys can say yay, nay, whatever you like here. The first one, 2003, Tennessee upsets number 6 Miami 10-6 at the Orange Bowl. They snapped the nation's longest home winning streak at 26 games. And what was it? Winslow was a warrior after that game?
Yes.
Yeah.
Only cares about that, you.
Dustin Colquitt had a great screwball punt that one of their, I can't remember the guy's name, that fumbled. Miami return man fumbled.
That was a tremendous, it was a huge surprise.
And the lone touchdown came on a 4th down play.
That's right. And wasn't it an end around call?
Yes,
it was.
Yeah, end around call. All right, next up on the list, 2003. Look how many of these good things are
Are
2003 and 2004. 51-43, that 5 overtime win at Alabama. That made the list. Then you go, same year, 24-10 win at Florida. Tennessee's last win at the Swamp.
Hail Mary.
Yep, Casey Clausen to James Banks right at the end of the first half.
Yep.
Clausen, of course, was a road warrior, the most underrated player.
That was back-to-back wins in the Swamp.
Yep. Then you go down from that, 2004, 30-28, the last win over Florida, period. Eric Ainge, the freshman, came in, kind of took that one over, brought the comeback. But the big story there, if you remember, James Wilhoit missed an extra point. And everybody's thinking, oh, my gosh, this GOAT just cost the game. And then he comes back and nails the 50-yard field goal to win it in the end.
After a controversial call.
That's right. There was a little
The
slapping
little pushing and shoving, and Florida got shoved harder.
All right, we got 2005, Monday night. Due to the hurricane in Louisiana, Vols come back from a 21-0 deficit to win 30-27 in overtime at LSU. That was the Eric Ainge grenade pass in the end zone, and they brought Rick Clausen back in. And if you remember, after the game, Philip Fulmer's with him. And he kind of puts his arm around him on TV for the end of the show for them to talk, and he just says to him, we love this guy. We've always loved this guy. And Clausen's like, yeah, I was playing for my teammates out here. That's what I was doing. He just
And of all those wins, that's the one that I remember the most of. That's the one that stands out.
What stands out to me was the way that Rick Clausen handled it. It was almost like, get your hand off.
Yeah.
All right, let's go back to the list here. 2006, the season opener against Cal. You've been through 2005 and the nightmare there. David Cutcliffe comes back, fixes your offense. You blow Cal out 35-18. 2009, Lane Kiffin broke out the black jerseys. We put that in because so many fans loved that. Not all, but so many fans loved the black jersey game. 31-13 win over South Carolina. This one's cruel, but I had Bob, you sent it, and I also had several fans put it out there. The firing of Derek Dooley was a pleasure.
That may be number 1 on the list.
Everything, that's what I was about to say. Of everything on this list, by the time that era was done with, it probably went a year too long. I think everybody says after the Kentucky game it went a year too long.
Goodness.
But it was just, I think everybody, including Derek Dooley, was just ready to get this over with and let's all move on.
Well, yeah, he said, I'm not coaching the last game. I'm out.
Yeah.
So, yeah, when he wasn't one of those guys that wanted to be carried off the field or dragged off of it in his last game. He just
or
said, that's
put
enough.
under it and
we'll see you.
a marker placed.
And it ushered in the undefeated Jim Chaney era.
Yeah.
That's right. That's right.
Which was a pleasure at the time.
Almost made the list. All right, let's go back to this. 2013, Butch Jones gets his first. Remember that? He's got to have a signature win. When's his signature win? He doesn't have a signature win yet. Okay, now he's got a signature win. He upset South Carolina 23-21. South Carolina was number 11 in that game. They finished 11-2. If they win that game, they're in the SEC championship game. They could have been in a BCS Bowl or possibly playing for a national championship. That was a big one, and Tennessee fans loved beating Steve Spurrier, knocking him out of any kind of big win there.
Yeah, that game might cost South Carolina $18 million. or more than what when you do the math.
Yeah.
Sometimes the pleasure's intensified when you inflict pain on another.
That's somewhere Bobby Scott is nodding. Yeah, he stuck it to Spurrier. And then 2015, that's the 2014 season, but it was this January. Tennessee crushes Iowa 45-28 in the Tax Slayer Bowl in what many folks believe / hope was a breakthrough game for the program. All right, the list up there. Do you guys agree with all of those? Are there some you wouldn't have put on there? Are there some that should be up there that weren't?
Well, you know, here's the problem when you ask to put a list like this, and I'm gonna use your own words back at you. Wins are like haircuts, losses are like scars. So when you're trying to think of the football pleasures, there's probably some wins out there, some games that kind of slip through your memory because, and I look at it from a fan's perspective, well, okay, you won, yay, great, let's go on to the next thing. I think when we get to the pains are painful pains.
They last with you. Well, and the meaning of that, wins are like haircuts, because you always have to have another one. But losses losses are scar tissue, man. There's no getting rid of those. You remember those.
Yep.
But it's a pleasure to think about that last win over Florida and at Florida, but it's a pain to realize how long it's been since you beat them.
Yeah.
You know,
that's one that you may find that in our pains list later. I mean, beating Alabama was on that list. Beating Florida was on that list. It's been a long time since you beat
it's like
either
you got to
one.
go back in the archives and almost find the black and white footage for the pleasure.
Yeah. All right. Very good. When we come back, we're going to keep the pleasurable stuff coming right at the top of the show before we get into pains. Next, top 10 pleasures in basketball. Come on back in the Sports Source.
From East Tennessee to the Carolinas, no job is too big for Benedict Construction. Patios and decks, custom remodels, even custom homes. With a reputation for excellence, rely on the custom work of Benedict Construction.